Alright, so today's video we're watching a gold 5 tank on console. We're going to be playing D.Va, Orisa, Winston, Reinhardt. Wow, that's a lot of swaps. They say, a bit of backstory, I consider myself a decent Overwatch player. Not the best, but okay. Alright. It's my first season really diving into comp with my work hours. I only really play 2 to 3 days a week. That's totally fine. In this game, I started off as D.Va as I feel she is one of the best. She is the one who I'm the best with. They had a Ramatra. I feel like I was playing well, but they switched to Zarya, so after I die, I switch to Orisa. We get first point, but then we lose on 99% round 2 to 3. I feel like the second one is a bit my fault, but I'd like to improve. Question, by the way. You were on D.Va, they went Zarya, then you switched to Orisa. You might as well just stay on D.Va at that point. Even though Orisa is becoming meta, don't get me wrong, Orisa is really strong. I'm just saying, like, you just could have been on D.Va anyway and been fine. Because, like, if you're going to Orisa, you're not switching to, like, counter, or, like, you're just going right into another counter. So anyway, Winston and Reinhardt, I feel, were panic swaps, which I can see now. I know I made 2 mistakes by flying into 2 Junkrat traps as D.Va and didn't react in time. I fly into them all the time. My supports were amazing, especially the Mercy, and I couldn't complain about my DPS. I feel I may have been the problem, was I? All right, we'll find out. Here we go. See how it goes. What is your comp right now? Mercy's End. So remember, on Mercy's End, you're going to get a little bit less healing, so you need to play more, like, don't play front and center in that comp. Eat the Moira Orb. All right, remember, always eat the Moira Orb. It is such an easy eat. Obviously, if it flies away from you, you don't have to go out of your way, but that was right in front of your face. Don't let a Moira Orb just fly by, because I just flew right by it. Like, when you're on D.Va, you can take away so much of that value. Basta, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. You had a great stream. Yep, you're kind of playing this correctly in a sense. Like, you're trying to... You guys remember, when you're on Mercy's End, you're going to get a lot less heals. Like, a lot less heals. So just be very careful of that when you're like, you need to... Your position needs to be kind of, like, adjusted accordingly based off of that. So, you're doing a decent job of hiding, though, which is nice. But, like, right now, just wait. No, you don't even have to get anything else. Just get healed up. There you go. I see. If you're talking about that right there, I've done the exact same thing. Now, yes, would I recommend not flying into it? Yes. Would I recommend killing the Junkrat trap? Yes. Do I shoot at my own Junkrat traps? Yes. So... don't feel too bad about that. It happens. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but sometimes you just start making a play and you go in to commit to it. You think you're going to kill the Junkrat trap in time with, like, your damage, and you don't. And that's what happens. Those plays just happen. I'm telling you. I'm not saying to do that every time. Obviously, you want to kill the Junkrat trap there and not do that, but my point I'm making is, like, don't feel too bad if, like, you end up doing that. It's just... sometimes you're focused on other things, and, like, while everybody here, and I can see it, it doesn't mean that at the exact same time that you would see it too, because you're looking at so many different variables. It could be the kill feed, it could be, you know, your HP, and you're just not looking in that direction, and then you just get rolled. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a second here, because here's your problem. And I can already tell you what you need to improve at. I call this... okay, there's nothing really to call it. It's as simple as this. You need to recognize the support line you have. People hear me sometimes, I'll be like, hey, what tank do you go in this situation? I say, a lot of the time I actually make a tank if I'm not in, like, a meta. So, like, a meta, like, for example, like right now, Orisa is starting to become the dominant tank again. Yay. Okay, so if we have a Mercy's End, the way I'm going to play with a Mercy's End is going to be a lot different than if I have, like, an Ana Kiriko. I'm just making up a random, like, combo. That's not the strongest combo. Or an Ana Brig, right? Because I can't take as much poke damage. So the problem you're running into already is that you're taking too much poke damage. Does that make sense? Like, you're sitting in the middle of the open, you're taking a bunch of damage, and you have a Mercy's End. You have a low healing comp. Like, you're not going to get healed a ton, so you need to pick and choose your spots. But most importantly, get to your spots a lot quicker than sitting there taking 500 damage. Because this is, you notice how your gameplay loop right now is just running backwards? If you keep just standing in the middle of the open like this, that is going to be your gameplay loop. Right? So, suggestions against this comp? This is exactly what... okay, this is perfect. So the reason why I'm telling you to do this is, like, well, if you can't be healed up and you can't sit there in a team fight the whole time, right? I mean, I'm not going to complain about the ult at work. You're going to have to be more backline pressure now. And you go, well, what if I get demeched? I can tell you right now, you're probably going to eat the Junkrat passive. It did damage to you. If you go for their backline pressure more in a comp where you don't have high healing, that is going to be more effective and probably bring more value to your team than just sitting there and taking 6,000 poke damage and never doing anything. That's why I really like to play on the Ana. You didn't get the kill on the Ana, but you put enough pressure on them. And your supports don't have to worry about you as much because there's nothing they can really do at that point anyway. So, you made the correct decision later on, but you're taking, like right here, stop taking as much poke damage. Stop. You're doing like 4 damage and you're making it hard on your supports. Get healed up. Armors are, get healed up, stop! Back away! No, go hide behind a wall! Okay, and like, this is where I get back to what I was saying. Do you notice how you go to make a play, but you're at 400 HP? If you were just playing that correctly and like letting your supports heal you up, okay, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine because then you can go in, kill the Junkrat, and the passive won't even get you there. But instead, because you're constantly taking that poke damage, 50 damage here, 50 damage there. It's not enough to demech you, but it's enough to where your supports can never keep you alive. And when you're running the Mercy Zen, your Mercy Zen are going to thank you if they're allowed to go and heal their other 2 DPS because it's a lot easier to keep them healed the whole time. So, little plays like that are how you're going to stay in your mech there. Yeah, you got to be careful in that situation. And getting the health back. That's probably not going to go well for you. Yeah, I was going to say. Okay, didn't you say they went Zarya then you went Orisa? This makes a bit more sense now. Even though, once again, Mercy Zen. A little bit more survivability, though. Yep. I didn't even see the ragdoll. I'll be honest with you. Chat saw it, and I'll just leave it up for whatever chat sees. I didn't see it. I was just looking elsewhere. All right. Yeah, I mean, you kind of just rolled in here as Orisa, but yeah, I mean, your number one problem is you're not recognizing the support line you have, and you're making it difficult on yourself. And when you do that, that's what happens. You're making it harder on yourself by looking at the comp that you have and going, you know what? I'm going to take as much poke damage as possible. And that's why you got to reduce that. You got to stop just sitting there in front of your team and, you know, like play angles, find ways to get to their back line, do things that will be beneficial to your team. Don't just sit there and constantly take damage because that's what happens. You're not going to get any value. You gotta be careful of that one, and then that's where you're losing a lot of that to begin with. But I think that's an easy fix, right? Like it's one of those things where it's like that's not a difficult fix, at least in my opinion. Like you can easily be fine with that. I guess is what I'm saying. Still on Mercy's End, so remember damage. Play cover. Look for discorded targets. Dive backline if you have to. Okay, wow, you took this serious. You went right in. All right, now wait. Now you have a little bit of map control, so you don't have to overdo this. Okay, now you got to pick too. You have a numbers advantage, so this is where you would. Yep. All right, you can be a bit aggressive during gold because Orisa's like unkillable. Now javelin spin backwards. There you go, javelin the D.Va. I mean, they ate that's fine. They used their DM. I'm okay with that. Right sequence. Play to live on point. You're good. Don't overextend here because your HP will get low and your teammates won't be able to keep you up. And now you're good. You can go in now if you want to. All right, not bad. Good sequence. I don't see anything really inherently wrong with that. When is season 13 release? I think it's I think it releases at, you hear the Ana behind you. The 15th. Sorry. Nice boot. Good job. That took a while, but good job. Like, not for you to get the kill, for the Ana to fall off the map. Back away. Remember, Mercy's End. Mercy, if you go too aggressive, you're gonna get really low. I know you got the kill on Zarya, but like I also look at like that play's always gonna work. Just you know, chill and point for now. This is good. Don't need to do too much. Remember, sometimes in Overwatch, it's like the old saying, like less is more. Sometimes people want to do too much. It's something that I'll actually lose team fights because I feel like I have to do more than I actually have to do. And this is one of these situations where like you can just chill for a bit. You have map control, you have a bunch of ults in your team. The only way their team really gets back into it at this point in the game with the score that you have is by just giving them free kills. You got a free kill on their Ana, you have your ult coming up, if you want to use your ult in here, you can. Like, that is just a good play by the Junkrat. Nothing you can do about that. That's fine. You don't have to use your cooldown. Remember, if you really want to, you can use gold to get out of it, but could have waited an extra second there. The Mercy already used their flight, but is what it is. A little bit ambitious by you. Remember, you have Mercy Zen, so you want to time your damage in the way that you play it a little bit better. Mercy Zen is not a high healing comp. It's very methodical on how you want to do it. Okay, wonderful start. So you're on to Winston now. Now in this situation, you want to go for more backline pressure. You're making the correct play here. This is correct. Winston's also good against Zarya. Remember, Zarya... Okay, here's the grab. Yep. But looks like you should have this team fight. I don't think you lose this unless you really hack it up. Bubbles... Oh, Bubble's fine. At that point, like, is it my favorite bubble? No, but I get the idea. You're just dropping the bubble to keep your teammates alive. You gotta kill this Moira. A little bit of a tip. Whenever you're, like, against a hero that isn't gonna really kill your teammates... Also, Reed, thanks for the gift of stuff. Thank you, appreciate it. Don't try to chase them around in circles. Just stay on one side. Because a lot of that's what you, like, I'll do, like, you know when, like, somebody's on the cart and they're just, like, going in circles around the cart and everybody's chasing them and they're surviving? All you need to do is have, like, people take an angle on each side and they'll never do that. But people just will follow them around and they'll just actually do that, so. You get started with Overwatch? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, you start playing, start understanding what the heroes do. That's what you're talking about. Oh, watch out. That's generally what you would do. It's just, you know, your HP's low here, so remember, play for health packs, don't play for point. Just wait, look at the... No, bad bubble. The reason why that's a bad bubble is because you don't even need to go into the point to begin with, so now when you need your bubble, when you dive in, you're not gonna have your bubble. Now, their team hasn't quite punished you for that yet, but, like, remember, you have time there. Don't force the play. Dive their back line. Don't worry about the D.Va. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter anyway. What is mystery heroes? Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose this. And once again, this is just more along the lines of recognizing the support line you have and playing around the support line correctly. And right now, you're not doing a lot of that. You're just taking a bunch of poke damage, falling over. Because you can still make Winston work here. Okay. Now you're on to D.Va. You're back to where you started. Backline pressure. Backline pressure. Less Orisa. I know, it's been quite a shift recently, but D.Va's not... If you end up playing against the Orisa will end up grinding you down, and, like, you're not in a comp that can be grind... Like, you don't want to be, like, ground down the whole time. You want to go for their Mercy. Like their Mercy. Or if they're more using Spade. Whatever you see there, but, like, just don't go for the Orisa unless you see all their cooldowns used. Orisa no spin. You can go for Orisa. Okay, this is the time to go. Good job. That's what I mean. When you see Orisa has no cooldowns, that's your timing. Good play. Good play. So if you want a main tank, are there certain ones to stay away from right now? Not really. I mean, if you're in top 500, yeah, there'll be like meta-based heroes, and I won't be able to play this, but play whatever you want. I would say this. In most ranks, you did it again in the Junkrat trap, yeah. That feels bad. I see what happened. That feels bad. That one was a bit more obvious, but I get it. I would say this much. When you're first playing Overwatch, don't worry too much about what not to play. Just worry about learning what the heroes do, what all the hero abilities do. Don't worry too much about, like, this is what I have to play meta-wise. Meta-wise in Overwatch, just to really hit towards, like, no. We really want to push it, like, diamond, high diamond, into, like... And even then, it's not going to happen too much. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just play whatever works here. Good ult there. I don't mind that. Go for the Junkrat now. Yep. Don't lose track of the Junkrat. Okay. Yeah, there's the Junkrat. Remember, eat the passive. All right. I want you to get in the habit of something here. This goes for any D.Va player. Always get in the habit of eating the mines on the floor. So what happens is when you kill Junkrat, they have, like, a passive that drops, like, mines. You can eat those as D.Va. Remember, with the Mercy Zen comp, more about backline pressure. I'm okay with you going for the Moira. Don't overextend it, but, like, this is fine. Yep. Ash top left. Not bad. Yeah, Sombra hacks people, yep. Now, I want you to... Okay. This is the problem you're running into, is you're not setting up correctly, right? Look at the distance you're playing, right? Look at how you're playing. So, for example, you could go here and have the same value. What's the difference between playing here and here? Here you do 1 damage to them. Here you do full damage. So why are you going here? From here, if you need to fly to the Junkrat, you have to use your whole flight, and like it takes a while. They can see it coming from a mile. If you're here, you can surprise the Junkrat. You can come from different angles. You can pressure the Zarya at an angle and fly back. But when you play here, you're doing nothing. You're just, I kind of call this getting stuck in the mud, where rather than just kind of move in and like make a play, you just sit back and you just do nothing. And you're just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. So set up better. Go over here. Play these angles. Someone said Orisa. You said Orisa, man? Yeah, if you're playing Orisa, it makes more sense because your damage is more effective at that range. But if you're playing D.Va, you're doing like 1 damage. Now, it's okay to like, say you're a D.Va player and you kind of can't push up and you're just shooting randomly. That's fine, right? You're just doing a little bit of pressure. You can prevent like, you know, passives from kicking in, like where they heal back. That's fine, right? But if you're going to be set up here, you're doing nothing. And the only thing you're really going to do is put pressure on your supports by taking too much of that poke damage that we referenced earlier. So get out of the habit of just standing here against these type of comps and doing this when you could be up here at an angle and you could find more opportunity to get the kills. And then if you really need to fly out, you can fly out now, rather than if you have to fly from this distance and fly in, then you don't have an escape for a while and you're kind of stuck in defensive mode. And it's funny I say that because exactly what I just talked about happens. You fly into their team, you don't have an escape, and now you fed. You see the problem? On why that's like such a problem there? You did exactly what I said was going to happen, and then you immediately swap. They didn't need to make that swap at all. It had nothing to do with the Zarya. You can use gold to get out of that if you feel like they're going to get you. Just remember that. Okay, here we go. Bad use of gold. Don't use it randomly like that. Gold is such a really good part of the ability. You want to use gold when you're more kind of in their face and like they feel like they can kill you. And I know that sounds weird, but like what makes gold so strong on Orisa is that it basically makes you unkillable. Now, can they kill you through it if you're at 5% HP? Yes. But if you're at 60% HP, 70%, and you pop gold, yeah, you're not. Unless their team all-ins you and there's a Discord orb and they pop a bunch, you're going to be fine. So don't just pop your gold to pop your gold. It's such a useful ability on Orisa that if you waste it, it's the equivalent of like you using your defense matrix without like just using it in spawn and then running at them with no DM. It seems like a problem you're running into on Orisa right now is you have a habit of just hitting gold when you see somebody. That's not when you want to use it. And if you noticed right there, they got you again because you used your gold prior and then when you needed it, you were dead. Reinhardt now. Okay, wonderful. Wow, that was a... Yeah, you're really overdoing this now, aren't you? I think the Reaper and the Zen were able to touch the point, but then the Reaper died. Shield up. Shield up. There you go. Play defensive if you need to. Nice pick. That was nice of the Mercy to fly into you. Hold shield for your team. Remember, you have teammates. You have teammates. You have teammates. They have an Ashe. Yes, there you go. Gotta do that a lot quicker. Remember, sometimes when people play Rein, they forget that they have teammates, and like what you ended up doing there is you actually wanted to play a little bit more defensive. So I'll pause for a second. You need to play more defensive there. You have numbers. You've managed to get yourself back into the game. The worst thing you can do is go in, leave your teammates susceptible to a play. Now, let's say that you go, well, the Junkrat killed them. Yeah, but if you're there with your teammates and the Junkrat goes in, they're probably only going to get one because you're going to be able to swing on them and just get the kills. Rein does a good amount of damage. So remember, in those situations, it's not about having to go get the kills after you have the numbers advantage. It's about making sure everybody else survives while you get the kill. And a lot of players, the reason why you lose these close fights, especially when you have a numbers advantage, is you feel like you have to go like and get kills when in reality, all you need to do is keep it a 5v3 and grind them down. They're the ones now who have to touch the point. They're the ones now who have to go there. The worst thing you can do is give them an opening. And that's what you did. You went in, you charged, right? You charged in, you left your teammates susceptible to a Junkrat, and all the Ashe did was go, hi, and then move over to the left, and then start shooting your teammates again. So, next time, if you're in that situation as Rein, just keep your team alive. You're not going to get grinded down. If the Junkrat makes a play like that, they're going to die. Look at the Junkrat's HP right now. Imagine 2 Reinhardt swings on that Junkrat before they even get 2 kills. Easily won by your team. Instead, you charge in, you make a bit of a mistake on that thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm more of an aggressive Rein player, so a lot of that, what I'm seeing there with Rein, I do the same thing. So I can recognize when that's happening, and I've gotten better at it. It's okay to go to more of the default kind of like, it's not boring, but like it's definitely a bit more chill play style when you're in these type of situations at the end of a game. Because like that's what's gonna win for your team. Not like, if I'm just sitting there on the enemy team and there's a Reinhardt holding shield in front of everybody, I'm going, oh, come on. Break the Rein shield, break the Rein shield. I know I can't push in, So remember that you will help enable the rest of your teammates to win the game for you. But if you run away from them, then it leaves it up for what happened here. So you can definitely fix that. And I think you're going to lose the game off of this, but we'll see. Unless they like randomly heck up. Okay, so that was the game. Okay. I think going forward for you, I think one thing you really need to work on is recognizing your support line. So once again, if you're on Mercy Zen, be like, okay, I'm on Mercy Zen here. The worst thing I can do is sit here and take a bunch of poke damage, which is what you did. You just sat there, you took a bunch of poke damage, and it just didn't go well for you because of that. So I really want to see you get out of the habit of taking all that random poke damage. So that's step number one. You know, recognize, get to your spots. Don't just stand in the middle of the open. Recognize that each tank has different play styles. If you're playing D.Va, don't play D.Va like you're playing Zarya. Don't play D.Va like you're playing Orisa. Play D.Va like you're playing D.Va. Set up on map control. Don't think about where your escape is. And then on Reinhardt, obviously you had very minimal Reinhardt gameplay here, but you just said yourself you have a problem with Ryan where you tend to DPS on Ryan too much. Find the balance. Keep your teammates alive. If your teammates are fine, go be that aggressive Ryan. There's more, I guess, like nuance to that and like more you can do. Like if you watch really good Ryans, they're going to be a bit more aggressive, but those Ryans have kind of mastered their play style of when to do that and when not to do that. When I go up against good Ryans in top 500, they play a very boring play style until they don't. And then because they do that, they end up winning because it's such a good job. Like they'll sit there, they'll hold their shield forever, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? And the next thing you know, they charge in and they kill someone on a random pan, and then they pop off and they just hold their shield again. So finding the balance is I think is your number one issue right now of just look at what you have team comp wise, recognize the strength of your team comp, recognize what's going to happen to you if you play a certain way, and you'll be good to go. If you like this video, make sure to the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That is where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam. Also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.